Hello, today is Monday and the start of a new devlog video. This week, I'm planning on creating a brand new enemy and some explosions. So you know, only epic stuff. But anyway, on to the devlog. First off, I tried using a particle designer for GameMaker to make the particles for the explosion. Yeah, I know I've been doing a lot of particles lately, but I need to make just one this week, I promise. Then I imported the particles into the game, changed some settings, and it looks like this, which is pretty nice. Then I spent the next 10 minutes making a knockback system for it. And then I spent the next hour trying to get said system to work. But this is how it worked out once I added a bit of screen shake to it. So even though I'd already spent a long time working on the game Monday, I wanted to start working on the enemy, mostly to get a sense of scale for it. First up, I drew up a big tank-like enemy that was double the size of the player. Then I realized it wasn't big enough and made it bigger. So then I simply stuck in some of the code that I had for the sprinter enemy that just makes it run at you, and changed it a bit to make the mech respectfully stop a few feet in front of you, like a true gentleman. Then I just spent a little while making the explosion hurt you, and a missile that aims at you. The missile acts weird, and the explosion hurts you just a little too much. But I'm done for today. Today I just started off with an appetizer of fixing those issues I mentioned earlier. First of all, I made the explosions not do damage every frame that the player touches them by changing just one line of code. Then I messed with the missile and made it smaller and a little bit slower to make it easier to jump over. Then I made it explode after a set time. As you probably noticed, I have a new gun, the grenade launcher. It launches grenades, which are slightly affected by gravity. It'll be unlocked in the game kind of like the jetpack is, and it'll be used to break certain blocks as well as in combat. So I can only let the grenade launcher to deal damage to enemies, so I made it do that. I also made a new, better sprite for the grenade launcher, and I added that to the game. It looks pretty epic, though the colors do contrast pretty heavily with the player. Next up, I have to work on... Okay, so let's do that now. First off, I restricted wall sliding and dashing so you can only use them whenever the ability is active, which is triggered by picking up an item that unlocks it. Then I created these objects, which I'll just have the jetpack sprite as placeholders. As you can see, when I collect each one, I become able to use those moves. I'm not entirely sure if wall jumping should be an ability. It might end up being unlocked early like double jumping is. So the first thing for today is improving the missiles and making the mech enemy shoot them. So let's get to it. First off, I made a new sprite for the tracking missile, and then I spent a while trying to make a particle trail for it. You know how earlier I said no more particles? Well, I lied. Finally, I made the missile blink red for a second or two before it blows up. Then I figured it was about time that the big boy actually got some missiles to fire. Then I turned it a bit to sort of match the turn of the mech's gun thing. I also made it slightly offset to make it look a little better. So far, the mech isn't too scary or difficult to defeat. Of course, it also isn't possible to defeat yet, so let's fix all three of those problems. First off, making it get shot. Very easy, I just made it the child of the already created enemy-based parent thing, and voila, it now can be hurt. Yeah. It just looks a bit strange now, so I removed the knockback and made it flash white when shot. As for making it more dangerous, I slowed it down. That seems counterintuitive, but I want this enemy to be a big mech slowly creeping towards you, so I also made the mech only stop if the player is much higher than them, so that they can shoot you from afar, but otherwise this mech will run straight into the player and try to force them up against a wall. And here's some gameplay with these improvements. Unfortunately, that's all I have time for today. I do plan on adding a few more upgrades to the tank to make it more difficult to fight, but that'll have to wait for later. It's Thursday, and the first thing I did today was simply planning out some more stuff, including the first area and a few goals that you'll hopefully see happening in the upcoming devlog episodes. But anyway, I need to finish that mech enemy, and how I plan on making it more difficult to fight the mech will be giving him a new gun. Yeah. After that, I made the missile a little bit slower and overall balanced the enemy just a bit more. The last two things I have to do with the mech enemy is making it explode after death and making a nice final sprite for it. So the first thing I did was making it explode after death. I made it blink and have a short countdown timer before exploding, but that explosion is just honestly a bit too small, so I created a new large explosion object that has a new particle effect that is just a slightly modified version of the normal explosion. Finally, I added a quick particle effect to the missile whenever it spawns. Yeah, I definitely lied about no more particles. I went to the track meet Friday and didn't get home until late, so I didn't really want to work on the game. But anyway, today is Saturday, the last day to complete the mech enemy, and all I really have left is creating a nice new sprite. So yeah, let's do that. First off, I just made the basic idle sprite for it. Then I made a moving animation, a shooting animation, and updating the blinking animation. And then I decided that the sprite was too small. So I went back and redid the sprite and the animations, but made them taller. And after a few adjustments, here's how that enemy turned out. Anyway, that's all I have time for this week. The rest of Saturday and Sunday are going to be used to make and publish this video. So thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed this episode. Bye.